For today, we're going to be looking at area of a sectored, or we simplify it as sectored area, which is basically asking for the area of part of a circle, not the whole circle, just part of the circle. You see the bolded area. So, like in question number one, I'm looking for that much. So, not the whole circle, just part of it. The first thing we're going to see is how much of the circle we have. So, those degrees will come into effect. We have 195 out of 360, right? Because the whole circle is 360. So we have 195 out of 360. And I'm going to multiply this. Since we're dealing with area, the figure looks like a circle. I'm going to be thinking the area of a circle. The radius is 6. So the area of a circle, I'm going to call it 36 pi, right? 6 squared, 36 pi. I'm going to leave pi as a pi because I don't want to deal with decimals. But I'm dealing with fractions, so I'm going to put it as a over 1. Now just multiply. I know on fractions we multiply straight across. That's the only way we cannot simplify. But my first fraction, 195 over 360, we can simplify that way. Diagonal, 360 and 36, we can simplify it that way. Only straight across, I cannot, because that's the way I multiply. So in my case, let me simplify 36 and 360. I see I can divide them each by 36. So I have 1 and 10. Yes.
You got 360 because it's a full circle?
Because of the full circle. Yep. Then on the first fraction, I have 195 over 10. I can divide each by 5. So I have a 2 at the bottom. Now 195 divided by 5 gives me 39. Now on the top of the fraction, I have 39 times 1 pi. So that is 39 pi. At the bottom, I have 2 times 1. That's 2. So 39 pi over 2. So I'm leaving pi as a pi. Now, the way you guys are going to type it, you're going to go 39 pi backslash 2. So 39 pi over 2. Make sure the pi is before the backslash. Because if you were to write 39 over 2 pi, you're telling me the pi is at the bottom, which is totally wrong, right? The pi is on top. So make sure the pi is before the backslash.
Wait, how did you get 36? How did you get 36?
Radius squared, 6 squared.
Oh, okay. And then that's how you get the pi?
Yeah. Because remember, the area of the circle is radius squared pi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So looking at question number 2, I have 210 over 360. Like how much of the circle I have. Multiply this by 9 pi over 1. Right? The radius is 3, so 3 squared, 9 pi over 1. I'm going to simplify the first fraction. Let me divide by 10. People used to call it cancel out the zeros, but that's technically divided by 10. So 21 over 36. I'm going to simplify it even more. Let me divide each by 3. So I have 7 over 12. And then diagonal, the 9 and the 12, you guys see them across diagonal? The 9 and the 12, I can divide each by 3. So that's 3, and that's a 4. So on the top, I have 7 times 3 pi. At the bottom, 4 times 1. So 21 pi over 4. Simplify your fraction as much as you can, though. I can see I have 21 over 4. Now, if you were to get something like 100 over 4, yeah, we could just call that 25, right? We're not going to call it 25 over 1. We're just going to call it 25. Like to simplify. Some of them simplify to a whole number. Some of them do not. Let's take a look at a couple more examples. Here, I'm going to go 60 over 360, because this is how much of the circle I have. So 60 over 360 times 100 pi over 1. This is radius squared, right? 10 squared. Now the first fraction, 60 over 360, let me divide each by 60. I get 1 over 6. Diagonal, the 6 and the 100, I can divide them by 2. So this is 3, this is 50. So on the top, I have 1 times 50 pi. At the bottom, I have 3 times 1. And you know you're simplified if 50 over 3 cannot be simplified, right? The way I will type this is 50 pi over 3. No spaces when you type it in. Last one, let's take a look at number 2. 270 over 360 times 144 pi over 1. Right, if I cancel out the zeros, that's like basically dividing by 10. So 27 over 36, let me divide each by 9. So I have this as 3 over 4. Diagonal, 144 and forward, let me divide each by 4. So that's a 1. 144 divided by 4 gives me 36. So on the top, I have 3 times 36 pi. That is 108 pi. At the bottom, I have 1 times 1. But then 108 over 1, I'm just going to call that 108 pi, or 108 pi. Yes?
Why'd you add the 0 to the 2 and 27? Oh no, it looks like 27.
Oh, 27? Okay. So yeah, the 270 over 360 cancel. So some of them might cancel to a whole number. Yes.
Is the pi, the number that has pi, is it always going to be on top?
Always going to be on top.
Okay.
Always. So once again, fractions, make sure you do it before the backslash.